You're listening to the Latino Nerd.
Yay!
Here we go.
Cool beans.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Latino Nerd. And I've been doing this for a year now, so thank you guys for listening in and inviting me into your homes, car, and whatever you're doing. I thank you for that. Today, I have probably one of the most exciting guests that I've had on this show to date. Um, if you have TikTok and the Pulse, you may have seen her all over your For You page. As a matter of fact, she was the inspiration for my Pierre Escargot TikTok. You may have seen her from her absolutely perfect Penelope Taint impressions on TikTok. Joining me on the Latino Nerd is Erika Spondike. How are you, Erika?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm well. I'm living.
Aren't we all?
Absolutely. Thank you again for doing this.
Of course. I'm so happy we finally got to make this work. I know we've been like trying back and forth for so long now, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be here.
Life often gets in the way of like everything every
Seriously.
time.
Ugh.
But on today's episode, we are just going to have a conversation with Erika. We're going to learn more about, how she got started and just talk about, plans for 2021 and getting back to some sense of normalcy since COVID.
Yeah. It's been crazy. I've been so happy and lucky to be vaccinated for a while, and I'm in like a part of the country that's like doing pretty well. Like I went to this workout class today and like everyone was unmasked and vaccinated. It was crazy. So yeah,
Nice.
things are looking
Get,
up. I'm excited.
getting that Fauci ouchie. Way to
Oh
go.
yes. Team Moderna
Yeah.
over here, the Dolly Parton vaccine.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I I have to admit, the second shot like kicked my ass beyond
Ugh.
belief.
Yep. Same here. It was a lot. It was also like a nice excuse to be able to like take a day off of work, take a day off of classes, but
Right.
oh, I was like up with a fever. Not a fan. But hey, no COVID for me.
Absolutely. We are all healthy and well. And
Yes.
surprisingly, since the whole mask mandated was I'm in New Jersey, so
Mm.
we just
Oh
got
yeah,
our
yeah.
mandate lifted. And most of the places I've been, people are still wearing masks, which
Yep.
is kind of awesome because I expected absolute chaos, but
Yes.
everyone's been doing well. So to all you people, if any of you by chance happen to see or hear this, great job. That's very awesome of you, and we'll beat this.
Woo. Slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race.
Absolutely. So let's get right to it then. So you are an actress and singer as well, and not just a TikToker.
I am, yes, if you couldn't tell from all my TikToks, I do have a musical theater background. It's kind of disgustingly
Love it.
obvious, I feel like. Um,
Love it.
yeah, I'm in school for theater right now, which is fun. It's definitely like my biggest passion, and it helps with like all this fun, crazy TikTok stuff and ideas and things. It's all
Absolutely. That
it's
is
really
awesome.
funny. Yeah, it's all just kind of taken off in a really fun, sudden way I did not expect. But here we are.
I it just normally I it's not that I don't always pay attention to like my For You page. It's just that I have so many followers from so many different walks of life. So it's like sometimes my For You page is like the calmest place on ever.
hmm
And then I end up on that really, really weird side of TikTok. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Gotta take it back.
yeah, like, sorry. Like, I
yeah.
follow enough people to keep me entertained.
That's,
But
that's good.
the one time you came across my like For You page, I like I listened, but I didn't look, and I was like, oh, someone's watching the Amanda show. So then they played again, and I looked, and I was like, oh my
Oh
gosh,
my
you
gosh.
are not Amanda.
Do you remember which video it was? Was it like the big Penelope Taint one?
Um,
That's just so funny to me.
I think I don't want to say it was the very like one of the very first ones you did. It had to be. I think it was the first time you mentioned like the Amanda Please website.
Oh yeah.
And I was just looking. I was like, oh my god, that is amazing.
The funniest part, and this is like kind of getting into how this all started, is like I didn't even know I could do this impression as
That's
well as I
amazing.
can. Cause I like grew up watching the Amanda Show, love the
Right.
Amanda Show. I am a baby. It surprises people to find out that I'm only 20 years old and I know the Amanda Show as well as I do.
Wow,
Yeah.
really?
Cause I
I feel old.
watched Stop
I
it.
feel old. Thanks.
Stop it. No. I watched so many like Teen Nick reruns in like 2005, 2006, like when I was like at home from kindergarten watching like the Amanda Show and Drake and Josh. And we
Right.
had oh what?
No, I'm listening. Yeah.
Oh sorry. Um and we had this like DVD version of like season 2 of the Amanda Show that we would play in the car back when like the big minivans had like the DVD player like built in and that was the height of luxury. And we would watch the same DVD of the Amanda Show over and over and over again on any car trip. And so there's like I think it's season 2 episode 1 of the Amanda Show is just ingrained in my body. Like I could probably do that entire episode from memory. um and then over winter break is when I just started using TikTok in the first place. And I was like at home from college break. And then I came back to be with my roommates and living the dream, doing whatever, getting ready for school to start. And my one roommate, they have Paramount Plus, and all of the
Nice.
show is on Paramount Plus. So we're sitting there one night just watching it because I'm like, oh my God, I love this show. And then I just turn to my roommate and go, I could be Penelope Taint. I'm gonna do it. And then I just bought a pair of fake bangs off of Amazon and then went to like
Amazing.
yeah. And then I got to like Depop, like one of those like thrift store apps, and like got the shirt, got the vest. I didn't even go, oh, I can do the voice. Let me show it for you. It was just, I can do that. Let me just try it. No previous experience.
Amazing.
And then literally the day that all of it came in the mail, I just put everything on, burst into my roommate's room, and just re-recorded the very first Penelope Taint TikTok. And then here we are.
that is fantastic. I love it.
Truly just a random Tuesday night, I want to do this. And then I did it. I was like, this is on TikTok.
You know what? I feel like that's how most of my impressions come about because
yeah.
I do impressions at work all the time, and my coworkers are always like, "Can you do this person? Can you?" And I'm like, you know, I don't know. I've never tried.
And then you just whip them out. You just gotta. It's all in the headspace. It's you believe it,
Absolutely.
you do it. Yeah.
Like my Macho Man Randy Savage came from a drunken night at karaoke.
I love it. That's amazing.
But your Penelope TikToks came at like a perfect time because I was at work one day, and my friend and I, we always talk about like our favorite TV shows when we were kids. And we were talking about all that in the Amanda Show. So I'm in the back room, and I hear my boss call me all the way back at the front of the store. So I walk up full speed, like right up to the counter, and I go, "Yeah, yeah."
Videos. I need to do one of those block blisters. That's like the one I haven't touched. I've like been trying. I've done the Penelope Tate. I've done Judge Trudy. Courtney. How could I not? So many of these. I did one of my favorites. I am so pissed at TikTok that this one didn't take off. But remember Amanda's jacuzzi when she like interviewed random people in history. I was like, I want to do Amanda's jacuzzi. How do I do this? And I had this bucket in my basement that I squeezed myself into and like put a blanket on top to look like water. And I'm in this bucket in a bikini with a plate of spaghetti. And like it only has like 1,000 views or whatever. I'm sure like with time it's like gone on, but it's like, of the one I actually put the effort into. Come on, TikTok.
That was me because like with my Pierre escargot, it blew up on Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram, but then like on TikTok, it had like 372 like views, and I was like, "You uncultured swine!"
Literally. And I've seen that one. That's a good one. That is a good one to
Thank
read.
you, thank you.
Yes. Ugh, that was a fun one.
And
But,
like, I went through the trouble of like finding like slippers and a raincoat on Amazon,
yeah. All
and
out.
when you're my size, raincoats are really hard to find.
Oh, well, at least you have a raincoat now. Now
I
you're good to go
do.
out in the rain. That's perfect. I don't even own a raincoat. You're one step ahead of me. That's perfect.
I had to say walking around the house in those slippers
Oh God.
because I had to put them on and walk into my bathroom.
Yeah, you can't put them on in there. Get your
Yeah.
money's worth. Get your money's worth out of them.
So like I forget that you can't walk in slippers the same way you would in sneakers.
Mm.
So my feet are like dragging across the
Yup.
floor, and I'm like,
Oh
why
God.
do I keep nearly? Oh, I have to lift my feet.
I feel like I have weird like poolside memories at like summer camp with flippers on for some reason that just everyone shared. Like they were just pool flippers that everyone just passed
Right.
around. Weird.
I love it. It's fantastic.
Ugh. Now you have a pair. You can go scuba diving.
If I weren't afraid of water, ironically.
Oh no! Then why even make the investment?
I
Gosh.
just, I had to go all out. You know?
Yeah.
The flippers are probably like the first thing people remember about Pierre Espargaro. So I'm like, if I don't do this in flippers, I have let Keenan down.
True.
But it was awesome because when I posted it on Instagram, one of the cast members, the current cast members, commented on it, and I was like, that was my moment in the sun for like 15 minutes. I'm like, yes.
So cool. You almost got me beat there. That's my one dream, truly. If I could actually meet Amanda through all of this, like, life is set. I will say, oh, the girl who plays Debbie on the Amanda show follows me now, which is probably the most exciting
amazing.
thing to have come
That's
out of any of
amazing.
this. Jenna Rose Morrison, I want to say is her name. And she is my idol. I have DM'd her now. It's just,
That is awesome.
Truly, if you would have told me that like 5 years ago, I would have fainted that Debbie from the Amanda Show would be following me on TikTok.
Oh, absolutely. I feel that way about a few of the people that I've had on the podcast. Like really, really early in, and he's been on a few times. I don't know if you're familiar with the show Medium.
I'm not.
With Patricia Arquette. Well, there was an actor on the show who played like Patricia Arquette's middle child. And I ended up having him on the podcast like really, really early on.
Wow.
And we ended up becoming good friends. So he's like a regular guest now.
That's amazing. Yeah, truly like all of the connections just through TikTok, through like COVID, honestly, like it's been crazy. Like that's amazing. Just from my own experiences, I've just had wild things. Just making the best out of these negative times, you know?
Absolutely. I do have to say my hit it big moment on TikTok was definitely one, you following me, because I was like, oh my God, I'm being followed back. This is great. And then are you familiar with Sarah Hester Ross?
Yes.
I made a TikTok because there was like some super Christian-y woman, and she was like talking about women twerking on like TikTok.
Yeah.
So I took her version and flipped it, essentially telling her to mind her business.
Nice.
So Sarah commented and she goes, "This is perfection." And I was like, my TikTok mommy just commented. And she goes, "TikTok mommy? That's amazing." So she followed me and I was like, oh.
That's so fun. No, it's been great. Like seeing comments, even there have been people, this guy, Tony Bracco, who's like big in like the Broadway world. Not even like, he's just like one of my personal like big idols, like commented on my first one. And I was like, oh my goodness. And just There was like one girl from BuzzFeed who commented and like follows me now, and I'm like,
That's amazing.
I love the world we're living in. Truly.
Really, like
It's
it's
just
like these are people that you just watch and you idolize, and then when they interact with you, you're like, but I am a lowly worm.
literally, even honestly, when you reached out to me through email and I just saw this notification that's like, I want you to be a guest on my podcast. That for me was like my first, oh, I've done something moment. Like for real. I was like, someone wants me to be on a podcast.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, and that's
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you for that.
Oh my goodness. That was a big star moment for me. For sure. Oh my gosh.
But it's crazy because I remember when I first joined TikTok, I was hovering around like 200 followers for like a year and a half, and I
Oh
was like,
dang.
if it never gets past this, I entertain these 200 people. I'll take that.
I've
And
seen
then like,
there was this trend of like where people would take the number of followers they had and it's like 35 followers and then they'd look up a picture of like 35 people all together and it's like, you know what, that's a lot of people in one room together looking at me and looking at the stuff that I do, and that's pretty dang cool. So honestly, just
absolutely,
whatever audience you got, why not
yeah,
just have fun.
and yeah, and then I was like, you know what, these are like 250 followers. Okay,
Yeah.
I make these people happy. Fine, let's
Yep.
do it. And then on a TikTok, it was like, what like early 2000s commercial lives in your head?
Oh,
So I sang the Free Credit Report song.
what's that one?
The one, you ever see the commercial? The guy's singing and they're all like dressed like pirates, and he's singing about checking your credit score.
No,
You've never seen it, really?
I think you
Well,
need to sing it right here, right now.
I probably, you know what? I more than likely will, because that was what kickstarted like my
Yeah.
TikTok fame. Because so I sang the entire jingle and did the
Oh.
little like legal part at the end, and then I woke up like 12 hours later and had like 3,000 followers, and I was like,
It's crazy, like literally overnight. It's funny
and,
too. Sorry, the first
no, you're good.
time that like I even went viral significantly on TikTok had nothing to do with the Amanda Show. This was like I downloaded the app and started making videos in like December, and the first thing I did that made it big was my mom. This is when I was like home for the holidays. My mom got really big onto like ancestry.com and like 23andMe and all of this like family researching shit and stuff.
Yep.
And she found this website that was like created by Mormons, but that like takes all your data and lineage and can like track your ancestry. And being us white privileged people in America, we could like go back really far into this probably fake lineage. And there was someone in like the 15th century whose name, and I shit you not, whose name, at least on paper, it was probably pronounced differently, was Lettuce Peniston. And so
Lettuce Peniston.
Lettuce Peniston. And so I thought that was hilarious. And then me and my mom made this TikTok about it, was like, we're related to Lettuce Peniston. We're royals. She was a lady too. Like,
That's
and then we looked her
amazing.
up and did all this crazy stuff. And I'm sure in the British Times it was Lettice Peniston. But that's not as fun. That's not as fun.
No, Lettuce Peniston.
Yes, and there are a couple others names that just honestly seemed fake, but it's that website was something else, and I think like if you tracked a certain way, you could like make your lineage back to like Jesus or something. I don't know if it was
Oh my
hacked or
God.
like people had messed with it, but yeah, I don't know how real it is, but got me my first 15 minutes of fame.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's fantastic. I love it. It's great. We live in such a fun time now.
Yeah. Everyone's kind of just joined together like nothing matters. Let's just have fun. And I love that.
Exactly.
Like, the backyardigans are trending on TikTok and I've been living for that. It's
Oh geez.
it's just everyone's just kind of banded together, I feel like. I love the internet.
My mom just called in the middle
Oh
of this.
no.
Sorry, Mom, I had to hit ignore. I'm podcast. One day I'm gonna answer. Just let her talk into the microphone.
That would be an exciting segment, I would say.
My mom has actually asked to be on my podcast quite a few
Oh,
times.
and you
I'm
haven't
waiting
let
for
her?
I'm waiting for the right episode
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
because my sister has already been on. So it's
Oh.
like eventually I'm like I'll come up with the right topic. And I know my mom. It's just gonna be her telling stories about me for an hour, which is fine. But
Yeah.
I have to prepare myself
Hmm.
because there's gonna be things that's gonna be like, wait, I didn't know that, and you just told all these people. Like, we need to talk after this.
That's where it gets juicy, though. That brings in the listeners. That brings in the subscribers.
Oh, absolutely. And like when I brought my sister on, my mom was so excited. She goes, "Oh my god!" My sister's name is Kawaii, by the way. So she goes, "Oh, you and Kawaii are doing an episode together. What's it gonna be about?" And we were like, "The Spice Girls."
That's so funny.
So for an hour, my sister and I just ranted on about the Spice Girls.
As you should. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
I love it, but it's crazy because at my age, it's like I've lived through, like I've literally lived through the beginning of the internet. Like I remember like the
Yeah.
day it became a thing.
Wow.
So to see now, like we went from, hey, I need to use the phone, like I need you to get off the phone so I can get on the internet, to look at all these strangers online who love me.
Yeah. I just even remember so many people in like elementary school teachers, like we would have computer class and like a whole segment on like don't talk to strangers, don't meet with anyone, like that whole thing. And now it's like all my friends are just random internet people I've never met.
Exactly. Like
I
all of
like
my
to
friends are
say
strangers.
one of my favorite things to say about people is just, oh, they're the best person I've never met. Like all of just like my
Yep.
internet friends and all these people just from random places just throughout the years.
It's funny because I have a second podcast,
Mm.
and I co-host it with like a very, very close friend of mine. She's like my best friend, and her and I have never actually met face to face, but we've been really close friends for like going on 4 years now.
Nice.
Yeah. And we're like, one day the day is going to come where we're going to have to do this in person. And I'm like, yeah, I know, definitely.
I'll get to it, and it'll be like
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
ultimate grand episode. Absolutely.
Yeah. As someone who I used to be like the king of meeting my internet friends. Like I would meet somebody online. Of course, I would give it like 5 to 6 months just to make sure they're not a creep.
Yeah.
And then I would say, oh, hey, mom, I'm going to meet this person. And
Oh,
she goes,
wow.
well, where'd you meet? And I'm like, MySpace. Or we met on, and I'm going to take it back here because I just realized you're only like 20.
Yeah,
But
I don't know these things.
the earliest form of social media we had, it was called The Loop.
What? I have never heard of that. I've heard of MySpace.
It's called The Loop, and it predates MySpace. And pretty much everything you can do on MySpace and Facebook, you could do on The Loop, except everything was done through the telephone.
What?
So like you had to log in, you had to type in, you had to dial the number. It was free. You had to dial the number, then you had to dial your PIN so that they knew it was you logging in. And you got like message boards, like you had like a timeline. You had like private messages. You could private
It's like
chat
The
with people.
Circle. Have you seen The Circle?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Circle, loop. Maybe that's where that came. Oh my god. I've
And
code. I need to talk to the Circle producers immediately. I know their inspiration now.
every time you got a private message, the sound that the Jetsons doorbell makes would play, and it goes, someone just sent you a message. You have new mail. Oh,
Wow. That's crazy.
yep.
Never heard of the loop.
And then later on into the loop cycle, I have a bunch of friends that I still have now because of the loop, and I joined the
Wow.
loop when I was in like 8th grade.
That's crazy. Me and my friends, we would create our own just websites that kind of functioned as like our social media. It was like webs.free.com or something.
I
But
love it.
we would like create fully like almost to the point of like coding when we were like 7 or 8, but not fully. It was like very easy accessible. But we would do it. It wasn't like a role playing thing, but we were all like our friend group, we called ourselves like monkeys, and we all
I
like
love it.
had names that were like fruits. I was papaya, and there was a pineapple and a coconut, and like we all would just like talk up to each other through these code names and just be monkeys on these websites. It was so weird. And we'd have like
That's
links to each
fantastic.
other's websites, and like we would talk on like the message board on it. It was crazy. I forget about that all the time, but
I
yeah, that was
love
definitely
it.
my first social media experience, and then Instagram and
Yeah,
everything. Ugh.
we had the loop, and every time I would meet somebody, I would get to know them. And I was a member of like there was like the loop in New Jersey, the loop in Pennsylvania, the loop in California. Like someone on every like one of those loops knew who I was.
Wow.
So after a while, it got to a point I would be like, "Hey, mom, this weekend can I go meet this person?" She goes, "Another one of your loop friends?" I'm like, "Yes." She goes, "Let me know where you are at all times."
Now that's another podcast that you have to make. That's just you catching up with all of these loop friends.
I plan to actually. I do want to
Yeah.
do a loopsters. We were called. We were
Ooh.
loopsters, and it was spelled Loup. Yeah, Loup.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
that's like French for wolf, like loop. I'm pretty sure. Interesting.
But yeah, it got to a point. I think about 2010. I finally just got up one day and I was like, I'm going to go to England to meet one of my internet friends. Yeah. So, we had been talking for years. So like at this
Yeah.
point, she knew my entire family.
Yeah.
So when I told my family, my aunt looked at my mom and she was like, "You're just gonna let him get up and just go to another country to just meet somebody he doesn't know?" And my mother goes, "We all know her. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, that's so funny.
like, go, have fun.
That sounds like I wish there was loop instead of Omegle. That would be much better in these
Oh,
modern
I
days.
remember when Omegle was actually safe and fun.
Was it ever?
There was a time actually.
Oof.
There was
I
a time.
I remember not Omegle but Uvu as being something big
Oh my God,
too.
Ubu.
Uvu and Omegle, I would always switch up. But no, Omegle, there's people. I love the TikTok lives when people are on Omegle. Honestly, I might do one of those as Penelope Taint.
Oh my God.
Like me, I think I'm gonna do it. I've been talking about it, and then I forget about it, and then I'm probably gonna do it sometime soon. But my freshman year of college, there was a group of us in our friend's dorm, and we were like, "Let's go on Omegle," and we were just like scrolling through all these random people, and like a lot of people were like doing the same thing, just because why not? And I'll
Right.
never forget it because it scarred me for life. We go onto this one group, and it was just this group of like I don't know, random guys or whatever, and they were just looking around talking, and he turns to me and goes, "That bitch has a bowl cut," and then I hit next.
Oh
So
my
then,
God.
I just simply referred to myself as that bitch with a bowl cut,
Bowl cut.
and it's just
That is with a
it
bowl
was
cut.
iconic, truly iconic, because my hair has just been the same since like high school. But
Just a bowl cut. That's amazing.
yeah, and I think that was the last time I've been on Omegle, so I'd be
I
happy to
am,
go back as Penelope Taint.
I am absolutely naming this episode.
No! It lives on! Thank God. That's great.
But
No, I approve.
my my funny Omegle story is one night I had a few friends over, and a large majority of like my friend circle are like women because I'm an only boy and I grew up with 7 sisters.
Dang!
Yeah, so women are like my like women are like my comfort zone. And so there were a bunch of them. There was like 3 or 4 of them. They all came over one night, and they were sitting on my bed. And for shits and giggles, we were like, "Let's go on Omegle." So we go on, and we got this like creep, like it was like the second click in. We got this like absolute creep. So I turned the camera so that he could see them, and he goes, "Oh my god, I'm in heaven." He goes, four hot girls, and they all have huge boobs." So my friends were like, "Thank you, we appreciate that." So he's like talking, and he goes, "So what do I have to do to?" He's like, "So what do I have to do to see those tits?" So my one friend Kristen goes, "Well, you really just have to ask." She goes, "I'm a little shy." She goes, "But there is one of us who has no problem." So while they're doing this, I've taken my shirt off,
Oh no.
and I've gotten as close as I can to the camera, and I'm like going like that, and I'm like rubbing
Oh
them,
my
and
god.
he goes, "Oh my god, one of you has tattoos on your boobs. That is so hot." So I'm in the camera like this, just like caressing myself, and
Oh my god.
he goes, "Those are the sweetest tits I've ever seen in my life." So finally, I look at the camera and I go, "Gee, thanks, bro."
Oh, people on the internet. That is wild.
I bet money that he hasn't been on Omegle since.
Oh, I'm sure he's scarred for life. He burned his computer. He gave it away. My god. That is
So
a good
funny,
Omegle story.
I just hear him going, "Oh my god, there's one more of you."
Not
like,
that.
yeah.
People are so gross. People are so gross. I can't have I love going on like TikTok lives. I'm sure as
Right.
you're seeing, me and my roommates, we just love to do like just random little fun things. But there are just some people that feel the need to make such disgusting comments, but a lot of them
Yeah.
are funny. So I screenshot a lot of them just for the shits and gigs. But yeah, fun times. Yeah.
My favorite TikTok live comment I think I've gotten is some random person. I guess I came across their feed and I was live. So he immediately goes in and he goes, "Oh, it's just some black guy." So I read the comment and I'm like, "Oh my god, where?"
That's so random. Like, why do you
It's just some black guy. I'm sorry I failed to live up to your expectations.
like and like that's wild.
It's like my Patrick came out. Like, what's the black guy do? He's just standing there.
Now that's a good Patrick.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's one of the ones I'm proudest of.
That's good. I only got Amanda Bynes. It's just, hello, my name is Penelope Taint. I'm Amanda's #1 fan, please. You may visit my website, www.amandaplease.com, please.
I'm so thankful I didn't have to ask you to do that.
I was waiting for it. It's the perfect audio medium because you can't see me to know I'm not Amanda.
This is true.
Been very funny because a lot of people comment that I sound like the Apparently kid. Have you seen that video? Apparently, I have never been on live television before, and apparently, I don't watch this. I feel they're similar, but they're different. That's like
amazing.
2 different voices, but no, yeah. Penelope, my tried and true. Courtney, my Courtney's all right. I feel like my Courtney could be better. I like yogurt.
I love it.
There was I need to work on my Judge Trudy. I hereby rule in favor of the plaintiff Jojo Siwa, and I hereby sentence you to be slathered in a pot of butter and slid into a pot of jam. I don't know. They always do random things like that. What else have I done? I
I
gotta do the yoga. Welcome to our video store. How I may be
I
of helping
love it.
you. It's
love
funny.
it.
No, how did I forget about this? I need to start doing TikToks. So this is a very random tangential story that I just feel the need to share. So when I was in high school, I came up with this character impression persona that is that of a 207-year-old Russian fortune teller.
Oh.
Hello, my name is Vladko Volodkovich. I'm 207 years old and I'm greatest fortune teller in the world because the rest of them are dead. And I just would do all these bits of like telling people's fortunes and like calling them ugly and like reading palms and fun things like that.
That's
I think
amazing.
that was my gateway into like voices. I think I would love to do like voiceover type things. Like I'm good at accents, good at dialects. I love.
So, I'm trying. The first impression I think I remember being able to nail. Strangely enough, I can't do it anymore. But I used to be able to do Alfalfa from the Little Rascals.
I love the Little Rascals. That's one of my childhood comfort movies.
Absolutely. And then like I woke up one day and it sounded like this, so I couldn't do it anymore. And I was like, "Aw." But then I got Patrick down.
Nice.
The Macho Man, which I've already done earlier today on the other podcast.
Oh, exciting. Can't wait to hear.
The podcast or the Macho Man?
Yeah, both.
So we had this idea, Maggie and I. Maggie is the co-host on my other podcast. I'm going to plug it. I'm going to plug it, by the way. The Slaughter Sluts podcast will be available very soon. Check it out. So she was like, we're going to do this thing where we're going to take like scenes from famous horror films and just replace whoever the killer is with Macho Man Randy Savage. So like
that's a TikTok.
That scene where Drew Barrymore picks up the phone and you just hear the killer and he's just like, "Ooh, what's your favorite scary movie?"
Not that. That's good.
So, like, because Jason doesn't talk whenever he appears in the scene, you're just gonna hear oh yeah.
My God.
When my daughter wouldn't clean her room, I would scream unacceptable, like Lemon Grab from Adventure Time.
I have a friend who could do a really, really good Lemon Grab. Oh my God. I need to rewatch Adventure Time.
I can do the unacceptable perfectly.
This is unacceptable! Mine's not that good. Mine is not that good.
I can do that perfectly. I think I have a TikTok where I do it. So if I find it, I'll have to send it to you.
Thank God, please.
Yeah,
please.
I have a TikTok where I do it.
Oh, I don't even know what other voices I can do. Honestly. I'm sure I could try. I'm sure I can figure something out and do something else. I don't know.
I can do Trump, but for legal reasons, I'll leave that.
Yeah, no thanks. We're having a great conversation, and I wouldn't want to have it tainted right now. But
exactly.
Thank you.
For legal reasons, I'll leave it out.
Yeah. There's been a lot of, honestly, not this is very relevant, but just I love like drag queens and like watching like drag queens do impressions of people. RuPaul's Drag Race is truly my entire comfort show, and there's an entire episode where they like do impersonations of celebrities and fun things like that. Oh my God, so I'm good at impressions of drag queens doing impressions of random celebrities.
That's awesome.
But that's about as far else as I get.
That's great. That is great. That's funny. I have a friend who has actually been on the podcast quite a few times, and she also happens to be a drag queen. Oh, and fantastic. She does a really good Gretchen Wiener.
Stop it. That's amazing.
She does a really good Gretchen, and she does like a perfect Karen, which like catches you off.
There's a 30% chance that it's raining.
And like it catches you off guard because she's Scottish.
Oh!
And she has like this really heavy Scottish accent. But when she does the Karen, it suddenly just goes away.
That's amazing.
And the first time she did it, we were like, holy crap.
Wow. That's wild.
So I know she's listening. So hello, Slay. Hello. Her name's Slay Guevara, by the way.
Cool. Hi there. Nice to meet you.
So
How are you? Cool. Me too. You fill in the blanks. Thank you. Thank you. It's interactive. I'd love to do an interactive podcast.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
One of those. Ooh, it'd be cool. I don't know how it would be possible, but like a choose your own adventure type thing. Ugh. I'd love to start my own podcast of sorts. Something. I just want to do everything.
No, I do have to tell you, it's exciting. I've had a lot of fun doing it over the past year.
Yeah, happy 1 year.
Thank you. My first couple episodes, I was like, I don't know if it was nerves or if it was just like, the fear. I was like, oh my God, people are gonna hate this. And then after like the fourth or fifth episode, I'm like, nah, people are either gonna listen or they aren't.
Exactly.
That's entirely up to them.
You just own it. You gotta own it. Whatever you do.
Exactly. It's like, if only I could get the amount of followers that I have on TikTok to convert to the amount of listeners I have on my podcast. But I'll be mad at you guys later.
No, yeah, that type of like conversion is never fun. Like I've gained like what, 20 Instagram followers, I think, maybe from this whole thing. And yet I have 22,000 on TikTok. It's like, okay.
Right.
Yeah. But
it's like, I'm at like something like 180,000 likes, and I'm like, I want this number to be this number. Like, can you speed that up?
Literally. Speed it along. I'm almost at, I think, 800,000 likes. It's been crazy. It's really just because of two videos. Two videos got me up there, and then the rest are kind of filler. But it's still fun. I think as long as you're just having fun and creating stuff, you can't go wrong on that app. You really can't.
I've come to find that the most random of my videos are always the ones that blow up.
Yep.
Like the one of me singing the jingle hit like 500,000 views.
That's insane.
And then there's one of me randomly singing in Spanish.
Oh.
That gained me like 400,000 views and like 1,500 followers.
Okay.
And then everybody's like, wow, your Spanish is so good. Like, and I'm like, and they're like, oh, we accept you on behalf of Latino TikTok. And I'm like, I'm already Latino, but trust me.
Your TikTok name.
I thank you nonetheless, but like, I'm already Latino, but I appreciate this. And then the one where today my TV randomly froze while I was watching Friends.
Yeah, but it wasn't like only the second video is blowing up or something, because that's the one that showed up on my For You page, and then I had to go look back on your page like, what's the other thing?
The one of me talking about living single, that one's at like 20,000 views.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Now I want to check on the one that I posted today. I have gotten to the point, which has been very, very exciting, where like what's also fueled my ego into making me feel like I'm an actual celebrity is people are now sending me things. Like I've gotten like a pair of these blue light glasses that I'm now promoting on my TikTok from a real company. And
that's
like,
amazing.
Cool stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm addicted to this app. I am addicted to this app.
What is the coolest thing I've been sent since starting this podcast? I did get sent a review copy of a PS5 game. Someone asked me to do it and do a review of it in my podcast, and the game was actually very terrible. It was awful, but I gave it like an okay review, just so like.
So you're like, oh. Yeah. Like, I have not been sent any controversial things as such as that. But I'm just living the dream and having a good time. But yeah, that's
Absolutely.
why not? Why not?
So, I guess that leads to my next question.
Mm.
When did like the acting bug like first bite you?
Yeah, very early is what I say. Both I come from a very just musical family and all. Like both my parents are music teachers. My younger brother,
That's awesome.
my brother is fantastic. He is perfect pitch and is like this musical amazing prodigy. I will rave about that boy for hours. He's amazing.
Nice.
And I'm just this fun little theater nerd. So my parents noticed that very early on and like put me in dance classes and theater classes when I was like well, 3 is when I started dancing, and then I loved the movie Annie when I was a kid, the one that was like in the
Yes.
80s, and like I would sing along to that all the time. I would hold the music for it and just run around my house singing it. And then my parents took me to see it like in person, like there was a theater company doing it, and I just sang along to the entire show in the audience. And that
Aw.
that was the real turning point where my parents were like, "Oh, we gotta put this one in something." And then
Absolutely. Like we
it
got to
just
do this.
hasn't stopped. Yeah, I really never had any sort of like plan B. A lot of people like warn you to do things, but uh
Right.
like I went through high school, like excellent student, excellent actress, singer, dancer. So then I just applied to a bunch of colleges as one does, which is a brutal process. It's another podcast in and of itself, is the college audition
Right.
process for musical theater. But yeah, it got me to the school I'm at now. I'm at the Hart School in the University of Hartford, Connecticut, which
Nice.
been a dream. I'm going to be a senior in the fall, which is
Nice.
fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, it's been fun. I've like done some professional gigs. I have a professional gig coming up in August. I'm really excited to get like
Ooh.
back to live theater. Oh, I'm very excited for that.
Let me know and I will
Yeah.
promote and hype the ever
Oh my
loving
gosh,
crap out of
yeah.
it.
I'm gonna be in Footloose. I'm playing Rusty in Footloose in
Ooh.
August. Very, very exciting. I'm just excited to like get back into rehearsals and just dance with people again. Yeah.
As a former Charlie Brown and Kaniki, you got this.
High school shows?
Um, Kaniki, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Brown, no. I was part of when I was younger. I was part of this group called the Story Tree Gang,
Oh,
and
fun.
we would travel to like different areas and perform. Like, we would perform for kids,
I did similar
and
things.
every Christmas we would do the Charlie Brown Christmas.
That's
So
cute.
like, 1 year I was Schroeder, 2 years I was Snoopy, and then the last year I was Charlie Brown.
You
Finally,
graduated up to Charlie
I
Brown.
graduated to
Oh,
Charlie.
that's so
I didn't
funny.
mind being Schroeder though; it was nice.
That's good. Play the piano, do a little. Oh, that's fun. Yeah. I've never not been performing, really. Just my
Right.
whole life, which has been great and fun. It's gotten me this far. I'm excited to see where I go. Yeah.
Uh, to the
Awesome.
moon!
To the moon!
To the moon! Nah, you got this. Definitely.
I'm excited. If I
This is
can if I can be a part of the creator fund on TikTok, which is my biggest flex, I feel like I can, I don't know, do something.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm 5,000 followers away. Come on, help me
Yeah.
out.
It's a time. I
Help
mean,
me
you
out.
make pennies. I get excited on a day when it's like, "Oh, you have earned 30 cents." And I'm like, "Yes."
I earned it.
But yeah.
Worth it.
It's fun. It makes you feel special. It makes you feel something.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I but that is awesome, and that's excited. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. That's the
I,
best.
and that's one of the things I love about like podcasting because is like this is me vicariously living my dream of being a radio host.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, I wanted to be in radio. Like I could sing, I could act. I'm a horrid dancer,
Oh, come
and
on. You just gotta, I don't know. I'm not, I'm bad with advice.
I'm a somewhat proficient rapper, but I'm like I
Okay.
I I wanted to work in radio. Like that was always my thing.
Nice. Awesome. Well, where this world is taking us. Podcasting's the future. I love podcasts. So that's why I was so excited for this. I was like, oh, this is
So
exciting.
is this your first one?
Yeah, this is the first time I've been interviewed.
Yay!
Yeah.
Fantastic. I love it.
Mm-hmm. I did another really cool thing I've gotten from all of this. Have you heard of Zillennials?
Yes.
Yes, there's the Born Zillennial Facebook group,
Oh my
which
god.
is huge. This dude started it like last fall, and I like posted like a couple of my TikToks on the Facebook group to be like, oh,
Mhm.
let's get some people in here. Why not? And then not the host, like the admin of the group reached out to me, and I did like this little reoccurring Totally Kyle bit. I did Totally Kyle. Whoa, totally.
That's
That's
awesome.
the other one I've done. I was like, I've done more. So like this one time, I was like on a podcast and like I was playing guitar. I don't know, I'm just making shit up. But I got to do like a cool like reoccurring Totally Kyle bit on their like YouTube channel thing. That was like the closest to like a podcasty type thing I've done before, but it was basically just a prolonged TikTok that wasn't vertical, it was horizontal. So that was
Nice.
pretty big. That was pretty big.
One of my favorite Totally Kyles.
Spider?
Yes.
That was
And I
the
was like-
one on my DVD that I watched religiously as a child. And
I was
Spider
like-
was all,
Oh,
Kyle.
exactly.
He like breaks, and like you watch it as a kid and you're like, this is so fun. Like that really was like a moment for me where I was like, ooh, performing comedy. Because these shows were like the SNL for children, all that Amanda
Absolutely.
show, like the inspiration of it all. Getting us at an early age.
There's another one. This one time I was at the zoo and it was like a tiger and it was all like grrr. So then I saw a lion and he was all like grrr. And all these animals were like grrring except for like this weird one. It was like
I I also love, and I can't believe I forgot about this one. It's time for a hillbilly moment. Knock knock. Who's there? Throw a pillow.
Who?
I'm gonna hit you in the head with a throw pillow.
What?
That was
That was
good.
good.
Yep. Excellent. That and their Tony Pajamas lives rent free in my mind. What was that for being an idiot? Okay. That me and my brother would say that in the car all the time because we would just watch that same episode
Being an idiot.
over and over again. Nothing. There
pajamas.
were no flops, only bops from the Amanda Show. The one, this
Agreed.
is a deep cut. But when they do like the cookie duper or the super duper or like
Yes.
sushi, yeah, I said sushi. All those got me. The girls' room. How could I not mention the girls' room? People, I need to like. I haven't done a girls' room TikTok, but I need to. I did like a couple. I like eggs.
That's a good Amanda deep cut. Oh my God.
There's so many.
Meatloaf crunch.
Meatloaf. Come get meatloaf crunch. Meatloaf. You get a bowl of me. There's also the fake commercials. God tier. The sick pops. The sick popples, the one that was like the spit wad, the spitball thrower, the spitball 3000 or something like that. Oh my God.
The sumo.
Oh yeah. There was sumo one. Lunch bay. Dad, come. I got tuna. I don't know. That's raw.
Lunch bay.
The best. And even just like in the beginning, this is the wildest part I think about the Amanda Show. An episode I did not remember that is on Paramount Plus is it was like during the 2000 election, I think it would have had to have been. They like
Right.
brought out these like actors who were impersonating the candidates and like had them fighting each other and like doing these like almost like, oh, what's the show? What, not the Scare Factor, Scare Freak Factor. Oh my god. What am I thinking of? When they like do disgusting things.
I
Like
know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it.
the audience listening is like killing me right now. Like it's this. That's why we need interactive podcasts. But no, it was
Absolutely.
yeah, something like that. And they were just like eating worms, these like presidential Fear Factor is what it was. They were like eating worms as presidential candidates and like wrestling and like it was just
Oh my
such
god.
overt political commentary for a 2000 Nickelodeon TV show. I was watching it and I was like, what?
Like, what is
It
this?
was crazy. It was just wow. They were like wrestling, and I was like, these are the presidential candidates. Absolutely wild. That show gave us so much. That show
Nickelodeon was
so
wild.
many things could run. And there are a lot of I feel like I should talk about this because I've talked about this on my TikTok, like nasty things that are associated with that show, like Dan Schneider,
Yeah.
shit. And through all of the projects that he's done through Nickelodeon. And I always just feel like I need to, since I use my platform as being an Amanda Show person, like I always feel like I need to address these things because he was a piece of shit. And so many terrible, traumatic things have like happened to these child actors. Like if we look at Amanda Bynes now, Jeanette McCurdy not coming back for the iCarly reboot, there's just
Right.
so many terrible things associated with this. And I'm just really trying to focus on the positive, nostalgic things of it all
Agreed.
and getting us all to like come together, especially during these trying times.
Speaking of nostalgic, Nick,
Mhm.
a friend and I actually applied to be on the Legends of the Hidden Temple reboot.
My roommates did too.
Nice.
Yep. I think that's so funny. I'm so happy that they're rebooting that. That's the reboot we need, not the. Have you seen the Rugrats reboot?
See, I
How do you feel?
I don't hate it, honestly.
I haven't watched it, but like seeing the commercial, I was like, who put the Instagram filter on all of these characters that removed every single wrinkle and pore? Not that they had wrinkles and pore, they're cartoons, but they just look too smooth.
Right. I don't hate it.
Okay.
I haven't finished the whole season yet, but I just remember there being a big uproar because, you know, in this one, like Phil and Lo's mom is a lesbian,
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
and everybody's like, wow, like, so you guys are just pandering. It's like, first of all, anybody who was old enough to watch Rugrats, we've known that Betty was gay since like 1992. This is
Yeah.
nothing new.
But now it's
I'm
canon.
like, yeah, like she may have been married to Howard, but you can't tell me that she wasn't into Mrs. Carmichael.
I don't
Stop
remember
it.
any of these names.
Stop it.
Oh, gosh, so much. Nickelodeon has given us so much. Me specifically, they've given me so much clout.
Like Ren and Stimpy were also very gay, and
Yeah.
Nickelodeon didn't shy away from that. Stop it.
Gosh, so many cartoons. So many
I
influential cartoons.
I between Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and I miss Fox Kids.
Oh, I didn't know. I was big on Discovery Kids. I don't know how much overlap. No one I've ever talked to really knows Discovery Kids as well as I. But I loved it.
I remember when what was the name of it before they made it Discovery Kids? It was something related to NBC directly.
Oh, I don't know.
And again, it's an age thing. It's like I remember when all the major networks
had their own like kids version.
Yeah, and they had like Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
And I remember having to write down on like a notebook what shows came on what channel at what time. So I didn't miss it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so Gargoyles is on at 10 a.m. on channel 11, but Sonic the Hedgehog is on channel 7 at 10:30,
Oh my
and I'm
gosh.
like, I don't want to miss the
Back
Mighty
and forth.
Ducks.
I
Yeah,
miss
exactly.
setting reminders for shows and like switching channels to like watch certain things at a certain time. That was big. Now it's like I don't even remember the last time I've watched cable.
Same,
Yep.
same.
It's crazy. Absolutely bonkers.
But yeah, it's just you know, we didn't have DVR back then, so you're just
Mm.
like click, 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 and then my mom was like, "Why don't you just record the shows that you want to watch?" And I was like, "Don't I have to be on that channel?" My mom's like, "No, you set the VCR to the channel you want to record," and I'm like, "Oh, well, this makes things so much easier." It's like now I don't have to choose between Digimon and Batman. I can watch both.
Nice. Oh, the magic of technology. You love it and you hate
Yeah,
it.
it's like I've seen the rise and fall of cassettes and CDs.
I do pride myself, and this is why I do identify most of these millennial things. The amount of VHS tapes that are still in my house of all of the random things. This is okay. Have you ever heard of the We Sing VHS tapes?
We Sing had
I'm
VHS.
there, yeah, like the WEE Sing. They were like they had silly like the songs of like folk books and stuff. This I hope someone out there listening has seen the We Sing videotapes, where like
I'm There's at least one person listening to this podcast that I'm about 95% sure is familiar with them.
I hope so. They were made in like the Pacific Northwest in like the late 80s, early 90s, and it's just chock full of like children's songs, but presented in like insane ways.
Oh my goodness.
Like my favorite one was The Marvelous Musical Mansion. And it was like these three children went to go visit their uncle in his marvelous musical mansion. And like there were these tiny little like musical figurines that came to life, including Andy Bandyman, who was the one man
Wow.
band. And like
Andy
he went to the
Bandyman.
other people and like stole their instruments so he could feel special. And like it was it's a
Amazing.
fever dream. All of these VHS tapes are fever dreams, but I have yet to meet like another sane person who has watched them as that being that influential.
I say I'm not familiar with it, but like if I come across it on YouTube,
It might be
I would
something.
be
There were
like,
a bunch of
ah,
them. Like there was oh gosh, of course I'm drawing a blank to every single one that wasn't the Marvelous Musical Mansion because that just lives in my brain rent free. But there was one where they were like on a train and there were vegetables and there was
geez.
crazy times. You could just yeah.
The only crazy thing I think from my childhood, there's a few VHS tapes I'm still in possession of,
Mm.
but the only thing I know for sure I still have from my childhood, I don't know if you're familiar with Muzzy.
Oh. Talk more about it. That sparks memories.
The commercials for Muzzy, like specifically, always aired on Nickelodeon, and the first thing you would see is two kids watching a TV, and the monster is like talking to his friend. You just hear him go bonjour. Like the first thing he's like speaking in French, and then some lady turns to the camera and she's like, "Yes, that's French. Those children are speaking, and no, they're not French. They're American."
Yes!
Yes,
Yes!
I have Muzzy in every language.
I remember those commercials.
Yes.
Wow. It was like teaching kids language. Wow.
Yes, I have Muzzy in every language, and it's because of a friend of mine. He came over one day. It was like had to be maybe my 22nd birthday,
Oh my god.
and he comes over, and he's always a very awesome guy. I love the guy, but he was always super excitable, especially when he was up to something.
Mm.
So he came over and he goes, "Happy birthday, man!" And I was like, "Yeah, I appreciate it." He goes, "I spent weeks trying to find you a good gift because you're my boy and I want to take care of you." And I was like, "You don't have to worry about that." And he goes, and this was his exact motion and like inflection on everything. I'm not exaggerating. He goes, "But then it hit me to get you the best present ever.
Okay.
And I go, okay. So he reaches in his bag and he goes, enjoy, my friend. So I looked and I'm like, this is muddy. And then he just goes, his face lights up. He goes, in every language.
Oh my
So
God.
my mom just gets off of the couch and she goes, Jesus Christ.
That reminds me of those commercials, the planes, trains, and automobiles, like those like
Oh my God, planes,
VHS
trains, and
tapes or whatever.
automobiles.
I don't even remember what they were for, but I just remember those commercials.
And it was like the one that showed like construction equipment and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just like stock footage of different vehicles. I swear all of those were. That was like
Wild
around the
time.
same time, because I'm from Pennsylvania and my brother was also obsessed with like Thomas the Tank Engine. And we would always go to like Lancaster, Pennsylvania as like a vacation. And they had like a Thomas the Tank Engine festival or
What?
something like that. I don't, it was crazy. And like we would go and like you could ride the trains and it was like they just made regular trains and like decked them out to look like Toby and Percy and Thomas and Gordon and all
Right.
of the trains. And it was just wild. We would do that as vacation.
I need to go to this festival if it still exists. I
I
want to
don't
be
know
to
if it
Topham Hat.
does. Yeah. Oh my God. He might have been booked. I don't even know if he was there.
Hmm.
Yeah. Crazy, crazy times. I wish I could go back to, at least for me, like the nice 2005 to 2010. Take me back any day. Golden years of my
Yeah,
childhood.
I concur. 2000. Wow, 2000. You were a child in 2010. I feel really old.
Yeah, I was born in this millennium. I'm turning 21 in August. I'm baby. I do radiate, I've been told that I
Hi,
radiate millennial
baby.
energy, which is, I don't know if it's a compliment or not, but I'll take it.
Right. I am that proud millennial here. Like I said, I've seen the rise, fall, and rebirth of boy bands.
You've seen Loop?
I've seen the loop.
Crazy.
Uh,
I still, my new conspiracy theory is that that is the base of the circle because now I'm obsessed with that because I'm already obsessed with that show. That's my big guilty pleasure show is the circle. My mom just sent me a link to they're casting the next season and she thinks I should be on it. So
Do it.
hey, we're gonna try.
Do that shit. My guilty pleasure show is Peppa Pig.
As it should be.
I want to be Peppa Pig when I grow up.
I will. One of my darkest moments in my life. So before COVID hit, I actually got to go to like England with my school, and it was like a really cool trip. And I got there, and there was like a group of other students I was with that were already there, and we were just chilling in our little apartment, and we were watching Peppa Pig, and I was like, "Isn't Peppa Pig Australian?" I had no idea she was British. I'm a fake
No.
fan. I'm a fake Peppa Pig fan. The only part about Peppa Pig that I know is that clip where she's like on the phone with like the sheep and she's like,
Yeah.
"You know how to whistle?" And she's like,
Yeah.
"How do you do it?" She's like, "You just put your lips together and blow like this." And she hangs up.
Click. Greatest moment in television history.
Truly. Ugh. I need to whistle more. That's like one of my special skills.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I know. I forget about whistling. It's an art.
My proud whistle moment is when I had to be maybe 10 or 11. I was watching Mary Poppins with my mom, and that part where the bird comes in doing Spoonful of Sugar. Yeah, I ended up doing that whole thing, and my mom like looked at me and she goes, "That was really loud. But that was amazing."
That's so funny. I've always been jealous of the people that can like put their fingers in their mouth and do the big thing.
I can't do it. I can't do it. And I hate it.
I know, I'm jealous. Makes me angry. All these hidden
If you can
talents.
do that, I hate you. Awesome, but I hate you.
At least I got Penelope Taint. That's my one thing I can do. The one thing I got. Thank you, thank you.
Oh yeah, that's amazing in and of itself.
Yeah.
I used to be able to do Olmec from Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, I forgot that was its name.
Olmec.
Yep.
This rock is ready to roll.
Oh my god.
Olmec, open the gate. Oh. Like no expression, like in his face, but it was all in his voice.
I don't know why that reminded me of this, but you ever know in like Night at the Museum when there's the Easter Island head?
Yes.
I don't know why that just has the same energy. Like me want gum gum. It's just like big rock type aura expressing things. I need to rewatch that movie. Maybe that'll be my movie tonight. Night at the Museum.
Can't go wrong. It's a classic.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. But yeah, so what are your big plans for the rest of 2021?
Nothing crazy. Like I said, I just have this theater gig in August I'm super excited about for Footloose. And then, yeah, going into my senior year of college. Very excited to get my undergrad, musical theater and performing arts management. Living the dream.
Oh yeah.
Living the dream. Yeah, that's all I got, really.
Thanks.
Yep.
Well, I thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
Of course. This was so much fun.
Anytime at all you want to come back, the seat is yours.
Oh my goodness. An open invite.
Hell yeah, anytime.
Once I get my other impressions ready and set for you, I'll be here.
And I'm definitely going to be in touch about that interactive podcast episode because that is something I haven't done yet. And I think that could be a lot of fun.
It's just like an episode of Dora when it's like, what was your favorite part of the trip? Mine too. That's what the whole episode would be.
Say backpack.
Yeah.
So,
silence.
It's funny you mentioned that. My best friend actually went to high school with the girl that plays backpack.
That's wild. Wow.
She kind of slipped that in there one night because I was drunk and randomly just started singing backpack.
Nice.
And she goes, I know that girl. And I was like, you know the backpack? You know,
she goes, yeah.
Like, yeah, she goes, she went to school with us. And I was like, oh, cool.
That's a flex.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
But, small world.
Yeah, right? It's crazy. But this was a lot of fun, and I thank you so much for doing this.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me on. I had a blast. I'm so happy we finally got to do this.
Heck yeah. Thank you. And I thank you guys at home for listening to another episode of The Blatino Nerd. I will catch you on the next one. And as always, keep it nerdy.